Hi, it's Benji Michaelick here. We are at the Derpy Games booth. There's Mark. This gentleman has agreed to play test NanoBot Battle Arena for us. When we start the game, we actually divide the deck into 1s, 2s, and 3s. The number on the card indicates the power of the card, and that indicates how many figurines or how many players it can affect. So initially we start by dealing out 3 1 cards, 1 3, and 2 2s. So 3 1 cards face down. 2 2s. And then 1 3. We do this to make sure that there's no mulligans, and then it's a lot more simple because there's only 48 cards in the deck. And then that way everyone starts out with an even hand. Separating them really only takes about a minute, and it's the only thing that really adds a little extra game time to the game. So we shuffle the deck, and then we reveal cards until we see someone's color on the card, so green. We reveal cards, and then whichever card is of the color of a player that shows up first is the player that goes first. So green will go first. In order to play your first turn, you place a tile with the black side up first. So just place one anywhere out in the space. Okay. Tiles need to always be placed adjacent to each other, and the goal of the game is to form chains of tiles. So a chain of tile, something like this, and follow the arrows in the right direction. The front of the tile is always saved for that player. So you cannot, no other player can place on this side of the tile, but they can place all around you. So each turn has 2 phases. We have a placement phase, and then we have a card phase. So the placement phase just took place, and then we have a card phase in our volunteer's hand. Or now our volunteer can play a card from his hand. He has a lot of aggressive cards, but we're going to start with the freeze card, because what it does is it stops Mark from being able to play a reaction card the next turn. Alright, Mark, it's your turn. So Mark is placing a tile adjacent to his opponent's tile. He's facing in on that, which is kind of a very aggressive tactic, because that means that he can attack in that direction his next turn. Alright, so, did you draw a card?
I didn't, I'm frozen.
Oh yeah. After you play a card, you must draw a card. Alright. So, our volunteer just drew a grow card. Since green is his color, that grow gets an extra +1 because he has an affinity for that color. The way that affinity works is anytime that a card is played with that person's color, they get an extra +1 to that card. But if an opponent uses a card against them, the card gets a -1. So this card is actually worthless against Mark because his color is purple. Place a tile. Alright, just to demonstrate a point, we're going to discard twist 1 because he can't use it against Mark, and then he can draw a new card this turn. So if there's useless cards, you can always just discard them instead of playing one, and then you can draw a new card. Alright, so now it's Mark's turn. Mark played an Aegis card, which flips a tile over to protect it from any other color, except for white. White can reflip the tile over, and then the tiles can be attacked again. Making a great chain. Yeah. So he's playing the grow 1, which means that he can actually place 2 additional tiles this turn. Currently, the Volunteer of Doom is winning he has a chain of 5, and Mark only has a chain of 2. Mark played a freeze 2.
And I elect not to freeze myself.
And since he played a freeze 2, he can elect not to freeze himself, but it will freeze the opponent. So the opponent just places one tile this turn.
Oh, it's got to go there. Okay.
Yep. Okay. And it's back to Mark. Holy moly, Mark. Now the game ends when a player runs out of tiles. The benefit of green is it's actually the fastest to run out of tiles, or green and red are the fastest to run out of tiles. So if he can do a sprint, then that would help him a lot. You go for it. I think you got it. And there's the twist 2.
Okay, I see.
Yep.
Definitely good. Okay.
And then now that they're in a continuous chain
again. Yep.
Yeah. So a lot of the cards are destructive, but they also are able to rectify themselves by just using them to counter the opponent. Oh, what the heck, Mark? Did you shuffle this?
Yeah. Oops. Yep, that's my fault.
So Mark has played an Aegis, which basically his whole chain of 6 is completely protected. And he was very nice and protected one of his opponent's tiles.
So I can't even do that one on him?
Not right now.
I would use the freeze on him and just make sure he can't do anything for a turn. Our figurines are about 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches in the base, and they are hefty figurines. Blink 1. Man, this guy's picking up the game fast.
Yeah, or you have to go around like that.
It has to maintain its current orientation.
Yeah. Okay.
It just has to be adjacent to.
It's not in a chain anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Did I draw like? You're supposed to have 6, right?
Yep.
So Mark played a burn 2, which allows him to remove a figurine from the beginning or end of a chain. The trick is you can place a tile anywhere
Next
and
to his too.
Right next to his. So now you can infect it.
Oh, okay.
And use the infect one.
Yeah.
The way that infect works is it converts tiles to your color.
It also destroys
the opponent's tile.
I need to freeze you.
Okay. Mark is playing a grow 2. He only has 2 tiles left. He's building up an army over there. Mark is playing a twist 2, but that's okay. I think green has a couple tricks up his sleeve. Currently, just to show what's going on, so his chain was broken by Mark twisting things up.
So there's a chain of 4 here.
2 here.
Chain of 2 here, yeah.
Right. How long is that chain, Mark?
Which one?
For you.
I'm sorry.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And then there's also a chain of 8 as well.
Right. So chains can fork, but it's always the longest chain that wins. Fortunately, though, our friend has a blink 3, so he can actually reshuffle his entire green figurine set to align themselves better.
Unfortunately, no. I don't want to drive.
They have to maintain orientation, but you can still figure out a way probably to get everything lined up.
And then that way you're not trapped and you can continue the chain.
Well, the game's going to end on my turn.
It's true.
And then I'll place here to end the game.
All right. So Mark is placing his last tile now, and then the game automatically ends. And then we count up the amount of figurines that people have in a continuous chain.
I think it's 10 to 9.
Is it 10 to 9?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah.
Okay. So it's a close game. What happens if there is a tie? It is the player with the least amount of tiles left that wins the game.